Indian cities are growing at a rapid pace and the infrastructure can't keep up. The biggest problem is the lack of clean water. 700 million people are without sanitary facilities. Fatal diseases result. In South Asia, over 500,000 children die each year due to dirty water. In the provincial town of Kolhapur, a women's group is no longer willing to settle for these circumstances. Chanda Sable, Shalan Kable, Meena Kamble, Rama Manchanda, Sindhu Bosale, Sanyikar Thai, and...
My name is Shobha Suryavanshi. I write the minutes for the women's group.
The women live on the outskirts of the city in the Rajendra Nagar slum. This is one of the poor quarters which build a belt all around Kolhapur. Like all huts, Shobha's little house doesn't have running water. The residents of the slum have to fetch every little drop of water from a watering hole, a traditionally female task. The huts also lack drainage systems, which is why everything to do with water happens outside in the alleyway, regardless of whether this is laundry, doing dishes, or personal hygiene. But what about lavatories? For Shobha and the other women, this poses the biggest problem for the residential area, and they are determined to fix it.
Up until now, we had to squat at the roadside to go to the toilet. This spreads many diseases, chikungunya, typhus, and diarrhea, for example. But this will stop now, because we're building new toilets so that nobody has to go outside to pee anymore.
In Rajendra Nagar, workmen are busily building the lavatory. It was developed based on a concept designed by BORDA and has proven itself in India for 10 years. The whole complex is scheduled to open in 3 days, and there's still plenty to do. For months, the women fought to have these lavatories built and even participated in the process. The group will later manage the facility too. This is what it used to look like here. Feces everywhere, odorous sewage, and squalid alleyways. But the days of inhuman conditions are numbered.
Our group meets regularly to discuss next steps. Everything is first debated and then we decide together. There's a lot to do. For example, we have to collect the money for the facility and clean the surroundings up. I work at least an hour a day for our new common bathrooms. Building this lavatory facility is a lot of work, but it will be worth it because soon we'll have clean quarters.
Now that the opening of the lavatories is about to happen, the women gather on a daily basis because much has to be done during these final days. One issue, for example, is the fact that the doors haven't been delivered yet. Some of the residents are now wondering whether doors were even intended. In order for the up-and-running business to work smoothly, the project manager Shilpa Mirashi repeats the most important aspects of maintenance once more during a training session.
The toilets have to be cleaned every day. Not only the toilet bowls, but also the walls and the floor. You have to keep a log on when you cleaned which part.
The women's group has been attending Shilpa's lectures regularly for 6 months.
The entire concept of CBS revolved around building ownership of people on the created assets. So we generally start with building up of community sanitation committee, who would be a trusted group within the community. So as an NGO, we take operation and maintenance training for them and how to operate and maintain the toilets as well as how to maintain the complex as a whole.
Don't do your business on the street, wash your hands before meals, or you will get sick. Together with the kids from the slum, a street play was put on to sensitize residents to the issue of hygiene and health. After all, the lavatories are only useful if the population uses them. That's why stressing the importance of clean water is a decisive factor. The lavatory facilities are not merely toilets, but also feature a sewage plant which is hidden below a small park. That way the lavatories run without being connected to the public sewage system. This is essential because a sewage system often doesn't exist. Shilpa takes Shobha to a hospital's completed sewage plant and shows her how it works. What's special about the BORDA facilities is their simple construction.
It's very easy for them to maintain the complex because already trainings are taken care, and they are trained how these complexes are maintained and also the toilets, so they themselves can do the desludging. The engineer would need to come after 1 year because then they will be themselves trained in the operation and maintenance.
Once the lavatory facility in the slum of Rajendra Nagar has finally been completed, its sewage plant will also become a small park where children can play. BORDA's facilities don't just take care of clean water, but also manage waste. Every morning, VJ collects the garbage in the slums. It used to just be dumped right behind the huts. Meanwhile, each household has switched to waste separation. The biodegradable waste is placed in the compost house of the facility, and with the help of earthworms, it is composted. The fertile grounds are sold to the residents of the slum at a low price so they can grow vegetables. This way the women's group makes an additional income. The women themselves also utilize the earth for a small herb garden where they grow medical plants. The water used for irrigation was cleansed at the sewage plant and is clean enough to grow food. Tomorrow is the day the lavatory facilities will be inaugurated. And still not everything is ready. The lavatory doors have been delivered, but nobody seems to be concerned about installing them. Shobha arrives to make the handyman pick up the speed.
I'm very excited. We worked for 6 months to complete the facility and now it's finally ready. I just hope everything goes well for the opening tomorrow.
And so work on the construction site continues until dusk. The morning of the initiation has arrived. The women rise early. They have something important to do. They each want to wear the same festive saris for the initiation, and the matching blouses are being sewn last minute. The construction workers too are working feverishly. Everything is happening at the same time. While one side is being painted, the other side is being decorated already. The residents of Rajendra Nagar waited a long time for this drum roll. A major grand opening party, and the lavatory facilities are open to the public. Kunal Kumar, the city manager of Kolhapur, and the BORDA employee Marianne Fujara came to the slum to inaugurate the new lavatory facility.
70 crores of people in India are waiting for such a day. Yes, 70 crores of people only in India have to live without proper sanitation.
All things considered, the facility cost $85,000. The city manager Kunal Kumar made a conscious decision when he chose and paid the BORDA concept.
A model like this works perfectly in a slum because people own it. They will keep it going throughout the years because they have taken the responsibility for maintenance. And being a decentralized system, it's a smaller one, it's maintainable, it's a small size thing which is compact, so it can go on for long. Now when I see the people here and the kind of motivation and the kind of approach they've had, it's gone beyond our expectations.
In Rajendra Nagar, it is the dawn of a highly anticipated day, the first day on which the 1,000 residents of the slum don't have to crouch at the roadside to empty their bowels, but instead can use clean toilets. Long lines form all day long because everybody wants to register to use the facility. Each resident receives a user pass at the price of less than $1 a month. Using this turnover, the facility can run cost efficiently.
The whole area is much cleaner now. There's no smell anymore and less garbage around.
I like the new toilet facility. We used to crouch somewhere. All that will change now. The toilets are our pride and joy.
One special aspect of this facility is the provision of customized children's lavatories. The toilets are smaller and the sinks are built lower.
Very nicely. Very nice. The small toilet is very nice and the doors are very nice.
We are very happy with the first day. Everybody likes the toilets and enjoys using them. Now we have to make sure the facility remains in good conditions so people will continue to enjoy coming here in the future.
The women's group's tireless efforts paid off. For residents of Rajendra Nagar, this day marks the beginning of a new era, an era with humane lavatory facilities and the absence of life-threatening diuretic diseases.